Week 2 is here, and welcome back to the Week 2 episode against the Cleveland Browns on the Purple Rain podcast. Yes. Welcome back to episode 333 of the Purple Rain podcast. 333. The Will Hill, Priest Holmes, LaRon McClain, Bam Morris, Devonta Freeman, Melvin Gordon episode. Tyler Loop episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Yes, thank you for spending your Thursday evening or Friday Eve with us. We have a lot to talk about, hopefully previewing the Ravens' first win of the 2025 NFL season. But first, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. This guy over here on Instagram or on X at Sutton Def. Me, Instagram, simply as10.prod, or on X at simply as10. And most importantly, our sponsor, Manscaped. Go in there, use code PRP for 20% off your whole order and free international shipping. But yes, Sutton, it is week 2. It is Cleveland week. It is the first division game of the year. A lot of trash talk already being thrown by one way. We'll get into all of that. Got a lot to talk about on that behalf. I know I do. But how are we feeling going to week 2? Are the vibes back?
No, the vibes are not back. At least not for me. I mean, dropping that game in Buffalo in the way that the Ravens dropped that game, it's gonna take some digging out of a deep hole for me to get the vibes really back. The vibes were higher than ever last week going into week 1. The vibes were high as ever going into the fourth quarter of that Buffalo Bills game, and for the Ravens to let themselves down, not only the fans, but themselves as well. I mean, it hasn't really sat right with me all week. So I'm excited for this episode because we get to talk about how the Ravens can potentially bounce back. Unfortunately, I do think that even with a win against the Cleveland Browns this Sunday, it's going to still feel like, what could have been. Like we should be 2-0, right? Not to say that we're going to skate past the Browns because that's definitely not going to happen. I don't see that happening at all. But I'm feeling good, Alex. Hopefully everybody here in the chat is feeling good as well. We got Jabari Cruz Ellis watching live, Chris M watching live as well. If you're watching live, let us know, sound off in the live chat. We would love to know that you are here. If you are not watching live, right, and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for coming out to this episode 333. Lucky numbers there of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate y'all for coming through. So yeah, like you said, lots to talk about in this episode, man. And I think that we should start this episode off by talking about some of the kind of sentiments that were shared from some of the defensive players, right? I've been hearing some remnants of some defensive immaturity coming from the Ravens, and I don't know if you have it pulled up or not, Alex, or who said what. I think it was Marlon Humphrey and Adafe Owe. They had spoke about the immaturity, and I think John Harbaugh had said a little piece about it as well. Do you have pulled up what they said or no?
Yeah, I can pull it up right now. 100%.
Okay, cool. While you're doing that, we do have Taquan in the house. What's going on? Taquan says, "What's up, Rain Gang, Sutton and Alex?" We got Jabari Cruz, Alice in the house says, "I want them to play pissed off." Yeah, they should be coming out there with nothing short of their literal hair on fire. The Ravens, at home, 30-year anniversary. Browns got a little chip on their shoulder because of that, because of the team getting taken and all that stuff. Of course, you lose the week 1 to the Bills. You pretty much embarrass yourself in front of the entire world because that was game of the week. Everybody was anticipating to watch that game. Everybody did watch that game, and they saw you get walked down in the fourth quarter by the rightful MVP. Got to say it, Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. The Bills, I think, put Josh Allen in the perfect position to prove why he deserved to win the MVP last year, while the Ravens, I think they kind of got very, very conservative, very, very vanilla down the stretch and did not allow Lamar Jackson to truly show why he deserves to be the one true most valuable player. But another episode for another day. Alex, you got it pulled up yet?
I'm gonna start with Marlon first. So we'll start with his quotes. So he
Okay.
basically talked about the past collapses. This was Cordell Woodland, who he's been on the show before, asked Marlon this about if the past collapses creep into their mind mid-game. He said he remembers being up 15. I looked up at Rowe and I said, let's go win this game. I think it goes to what Harbs addressed the team meeting. He said we're not mature enough as a team yet. Mature enough as a team. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
It's very clear we got great players on both sides of the ball, but defensively we have to work on our maturity. We have to go out there and win the game. Right now, our maturity level in those situations is not good enough. Um, as how do you gain that maturity? That's something we're still working on. I think everyone wants to make a play. I'm thinking I don't want to lose this game, so I'm going to do my job. It's not my fault. You do your job, and if a play comes to you, it comes to you. You don't go out to make a play and then do my job. Marlon also said Zach Ward made it clear that if you aren't doing things right, you aren't going to play. And then as for Owe, as for moving on from the Bills loss, we had tough conversations about game one. It hurts, but we're using that to channel our energy into game two. He feels like it was them getting focused on the little details. That's why they didn't win the game. They dominated for a good portion, but then they lost the focus. And then on what went wrong, they took their foot off the gas. We knew how much we didn't like the team and how much we wanted to dominate them. That's why we started beating them by a lot. We got complacent. We thought we already won the game and took our foot off the gas. And then on the rush lane discipline, obviously we have to be more disciplined. Everyone can't be trying to make a play. We have to be a unit. A lot of times we weren't in our proper fits because guys want to spin out or take the inside move. So that is from Marlon and from Odafe Owe. Marlon, one of the longest tenured Ravens on this team, talking like that. I think your mic's muted.
Yeah, I tend to do that a lot. Very troubling stuff, to say the least, coming from Marlon Humphrey there. But before we dive deep into that, we do have a super chat donation. This one's coming from D-Wiz. What's going on, D-Wiz? Dropping the 5-piece in the chat. Says, let's get it. Week 2. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And those are some real wise words, man. Real spill from D-Wiz, man. Appreciate you, man. This one's for you. Appreciate you, D-Wiz, dropping the 5-piece in the chat, making it rain here on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well, because we're about to dive really deep into and read really deep into what was just said. I am absolutely shocked by the words that I heard from Marlon Humphrey, by the words that I heard from John Harbaugh, by the words that I heard from Odafe Owe. Marlon Humphrey is a year, 6 or 7 player, right, Alex? 8?
I think it might be year 8. No, because Lamar's in year 8. So year 9.
Yeah, so it might be year 9.
Year 9.
We're talking about a 9-year vet, right? And Odafe Owe, 4th year, pretty sure, right?
Yes.
4th season, yeah. We're talking about a 4-year vet and a 9-year vet who are supposed to be the leaders of this team. They're saying that week 1, the week that they prepared for the entire offseason to get their get back against the Buffalo Bills, you're telling me in that week 1 matchup, you guys came out undisciplined. You guys came out unfocused. You dropped the ball. So what it tells me is that you learned nothing. You learned nothing over the offseason. It's pitiful, Alex, to be honest with you. I just don't understand not having that mentality. And then zooming out a little bit, right? How do you not look at the coaching? I know the players are saying this, but how do you not look at a John Harbaugh? How do you not look at a Zach Ward? How do you not look at, I'll say it, a Todd Monken and all those coaches in the building? Like, how do you not have these guys disciplined and ready to play? It would be one thing if a Tavius Robinson came out and said that, or if a Nate Wiggins came out and said that, or if a Teddy Buchanan came out and said that. One of the younger guys on this team. But it does not bode well for my mental, knowing that, the leaders on this defense, and you could talk about how the leaders on offense sometimes squander big games. Mark Andrews last year, even though we're past that, right? Why do the leaders of this team not seem to be leaders? That's my thing, Alex. What do you say?
Yeah, well, going back, and I'm going to step back to where you started. It is definitely concerning talking about maturity, because this team 2 years ago was, in the AFC Championship, 60 minutes away from getting to that one game you dream about as a kid. See Mod Ramey in the chat saying Ravens really need to Marcus Peters again. Yeah, I'm just kind of tie into it. I definitely agree with that. But you're 60 minutes away, and talking about a lot of guys are still on the team from their defensive maturity. I mean, I know you're up by 15, but when you're playing a team like the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles. Like, there's no way you think the game is won in the fourth quarter. I mean, you got to go to the end, to the clock hits zero. But as for what you're saying, the lack of leaders, man, I don't know. I don't want to, be that guy and somehow spin it back to the coach. But guess what? I'm about to do it. Is he kind of instilled this culture, this force of like you really can't talk back because if you do, you're off the team. Bringing up Marcus Peters, that was his final year with us in 22 when he snapped back, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Went to the Raiders. Mm, that wasn't a good time. So that's what kind of worries me. Like, are you not allowed to be outspoken and be a leader in that sense and maybe challenge the coach? Because you talked about it last time they was challenged was 2012, and what the hell happened?
Super Bowl.
And I don't want to kind of make any comparisons, but that same year, a certain lineman got benched for somebody else. And what was going to happen? That line looked pretty damn well in the playoffs. A come to Jesus meeting happened, after some tough losses, giving up a lot of points. What happened? Tightened up.
Mm.
13 years later, these things still reign true.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame. It's a shame. And at what point? I made a video earlier this week about Steve Bisciotti, right? At what point, if you're Steve Bisciotti, do you wake up one day and say, "Okay, enough is enough. I'm tired of this team folding like a bad hand every chance they get against good teams, against high level competition, against playoff teams, for lack of better words, right?" It's disgraceful, to be honest with you, like how much they talk about over the offseason, how they're crossing every T and dotting every I and making sure that they have everything kind of hashed out and figured out. And I want to give some credit really quick to the Buffalo Bills because we're sitting here talking like the Buffalo Bills are scrubs and there was absolutely no way that they should have won that game at all. That's not what I'm saying. Me myself, much like a lot of other people who watch the NFL faithfully, hold the Baltimore Ravens to a very, very high standard, you know? So when you go out there after a whole entire offseason of mourning the divisional round loss against the Bills that you lost in devastating fashion, how do you not come into this game fully buttoned up and ready to go? How do you get complacent? Basically, what Adafe always said, and I saw Ramey said in the chat, it really disappointed him. Even though it was honesty, it was very, very disappointing. How do you get complacent in a game? How do you blow your load early in that game? Like he said that they wanted to dominate them so bad, right? That they were just kind of whooping on them early in the game. And then in the fourth quarter, they felt like they had already won. Take your foot off the gas. The minute you rest, the minute you let these guys get out of their grave, you're done. You're done. And I think that honestly, the one silver lining I can say is that it was a lesson that was learned very, very early in the season.
Yeah.
And I think it's a much more important lesson, just because of the way that the Ravens lost. It's a much more important lesson than the one that I think that they learned in week 1 of last year, Alex, against the Kansas City Chiefs. Because in this one, they had the game right there in the palm of both hands, right? Juggling with the game. They could have done whatever.
Yeah.
And they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball at the very end. And I think that that's a very important lesson to learn. Week 1, get it out of your system. You do not want to be in that situation again, right?
I 100% agree. And, you kind of talk about like the coaches, everything. I think taking your foot off the gas, I think I'm going to turn to the offense now. I think we went way too conservative. I still don't agree with taking Derrick Henry out the game. I don't want to focus too much on that game because we're now on to week 2, but
Right.
it's just stuff like that where we see it happen in the playoffs as well. And, why does this guy have this many carries? We talked about it 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, it happens now in the regular season. And the whole like I'm not saying it's all right, but it's one thing if you're home. You're going back away to the place where you've lost now the past 2 playoff games there in Buffalo. You lost 2
Yeah.
playoff games there.
Yeah.
And to act like you had the game won away from home, you knew how much that game meant. It's week 1, it's not the playoffs, but there's no excuse for that, man. There really is no excuse. So I need to see a response this week and kind of answering your question, like the vibes. No, we could win this game 45-14. It's on in the next week. It really is because I need to see it again and again, and ultimately in the playoffs. I know it's not a fun way to look at it, but week 1 they've already proved us right. Unfortunately, they haven't proved
Yeah.
us wrong. They've proved us right. So on to this week, win it. Get out there healthy. We'll get into the keys, but that's really all I got for talking about that Bills game, that monstrosity of a game.
Yeah, just again, terrible collapse. We don't have to talk about it anymore. But I will say this just to end it. You talk about how the vibes won't be back, even if the Ravens win by 20 plus points, whatever. If they really blow the Browns out on Sunday, 1 p.m. CBS. I would say that the stock in terms of like whether they move up or down in terms of morality, in terms of how the vibes feel to me as a fan, they got to wait until that Monday night game against the Lions, right? And I damn near want to say the Week 4 game against the Chiefs because I know how the Ravens tend to perform against NFC teams. I know how they performed the last time out against the Detroit Lions, who I think are doing a little bit of soul searching right now
Mhm.
themselves, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, the next couple of weeks are going to be very, very telling. It sucks that they dropped that first game, but on to week 2 we go. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and transition into the next part of the show. So listen, guys, the Ravens have their home opener this week. I don't know how many of you guys are going to go to the game. I'm sure some of you guys are going to go. If you are going to go, are you going to go, Alex, or no?
I'm like the little definition of a game time decision. I am,
Ooh,
and I got this streak I'm trying to keep intact. All right, and it low key feels like a trap game because like everything is there for us to lose, like last year.
right, right.
This might be made like Saturday night at like midnight or something like that, like Sunday at 8:30 a.m. when I wake up. So I don't know. I can't really say if I'm going or not yet. I want to go though.
Yeah. It'd be a fun game to go to. I feel like there's going to be a lot of festivities, a lot of theatrics and things like that for the
Yeah.
30-year anniversary, which again, before we dive into it, how do you feel about the Browns feeling slighted because of the whole 30-year anniversary celebration?
I don't know how to. You're not that important. Like, who do you think you are? Like, we had this, and even the Ravens said it in March. We had to plan the first home game, all this 30-year festivities. Be mad at the
Yeah.
NFL. We don't pick the schedule. Schedule comes out what, May or June after the draft. This was picked in
Right.
March. I don't know. It's kind of childish to be honest, but
Kind of a
whatever.
reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Who do
like
you think
what
you
what
are?
are- what are we doing? Play football, man. Like
Yeah,
buckle up that chin strap and get ready to go. Um
yeah.
but all right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our Purple Rain report.
Yes, yes, yes. Purple Rain report for week 2. We have the I word report. All right. The
Yes.
Ravens, similar as last week a little bit. Ricard and likely will not be playing. Matabike didn't practice yesterday, limited today. Good signs for this weekend. And then Jair limited yesterday, full today. I think that'll be a kind of recurring theme of the year. He might be limited, might miss a practice here or there. But as long as we're looking good Thursday, Friday, we'll be good for the game. The Browns, let's see, they got the limited and Jack Conklin, Michael Hall, DeWine Jones, Denzel Ward, and then full for Joe Batonio, and then Quinchon Judkins, who off the field issues, he's not going to be playing on Sunday. So both teams right now healthy per se, but the Ravens, missing likely and Ricard, it hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And I want to just say this really quick about Jair Alexander because you touched on him briefly. He was not good in the first game against the Bills, right? I think though the main reason why a lot of Ravens fans were so excited about Jair Alexander is not for regular season play. I think it's more so for like that down the stretch playoff slash Super Bowl push. We want a guy like that to be healthy. Um, but what I will say though is Jair is also one of those guys. He's got a little bit of soul searching to do, a little bit of kind of reproving himself to the team. I think especially after the performance last week. It's basically like, let's say you're at the park, right, and you're playing like pickup basketball or like pickup soccer or something like that, and you walk on the field or you walk on the court, and a group of guys say, "Hey, like we want you. We heard you can play. Like come join our team, right?" And then the first game you put up like a dud, right? And you kind of feel it to yourself. You kind of feel like, damn, I really let everybody down. They were really expecting great things out of me. And on the very first opportunity that I got, I kind of like screwed the pooch. So I think like mentally, Jair is gonna have to bounce back because I saw the post game locker room interview that he had. I think after the game, he seemed a little bit dejected, a little bit like don't really want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like I got to move on, sort of thing. So I hope that he can get like the mental side of things down because it's looking like he's probably gonna play practice in full today, like you said. So, but other than that, Isaiah Likely, no surprise there. Pat Ricard is one that is starting to worry me, starting to concern me just a little bit, Alex. This is week 2. of him not playing, and then he's just straight up hasn't been practicing at all. He hasn't been limited at all. We haven't heard about him working out on his own on a side field or anything like that. Maybe you've heard something that I haven't, Alex, but I haven't heard much from Pat Ricard, and it worries me.
Yeah, neither have I. You hear likely working out on the side, posting videos of him training, which is
Yeah,
a good sign. I think he'll probably be back week 4 against the Chiefs. To be honest, as for Ricard, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. He hasn't practiced, I think, since it's to be a month and a day or two. It'll be a full month he hasn't practiced. So
yeah.
I mean, wouldn't surprise me. Maybe throwing the IR, but maybe they're giving it until next week. But it's definitely concerning. I'd say with no news sometimes is good news, but no news in this case isn't the best of news.
Yeah, I totally agreed there. Um, and then Namdi Madubuike, of course, like you said, didn't practice yesterday. Was practiced. He was in limited practices today, and I think he's gonna play. Like we were talking about, he's gonna play, and we're definitely gonna need him. Namdi Madubuike was an absolute force in week one. Gonna continue to need him to really bring in that pass rushing production. I mean, r- getting pressure at the rate that Namdi Madubuike does is just I can't even put it into words like how much of a luxury that is for the Ravens to have across their defensive line. So hopefully he plays. Hopefully he is okay in that ankle. But going down to the Cleveland Brown side of things, what are we really looking at here?
So Ramey said he hopes Jack Conklin plays. In his words, he is absolute food. And with that being
Yeah,
said, I mean, the way these edge rushers played last week, you gotta hope he does. You gotta hope they kind of make a statement, whether that be Owe, Van Noy, Mike Green, Tavius Robinson.
hmm
We'll get into the whole Clowney talks is why I think that's kind of relevant in Raymond's news now. I think with some cap moves we've made, but
for
it's
sure.
a big week for those guys because you're not going to have that big Buffalo, that big just at quarterback anymore. It's Joe Flacco, who, with all due respect, isn't the most mobile, is not
He's an
mobile at
old
all, but
Buffalo.
he's an old handsome Buffalo, old Joseph Vincent. But you got to get to him, and for me, I think God help him. But if you don't sack him at least 4 times, man, you got to get back there, and you got to make his life a living hell, and you got to make him kind of get the ball out quick, make a couple of errant throws. But I just don't know how much I can really take stock of this game. If we win it, and if we win it by a lot, it's just I gotta see it, and in the weeks coming. So hopefully we can win this. Hopefully we can get to the quarterback. It's a nice confidence boost for the team, but you got to get to the quarterback. No less than 3 to 4 sacks.
Yeah, that's for sure. Looking like Quinshawn Judikins is probably going to play, right?
I don't think he's been cleared yet.
No.
Maybe I don't think he's gonna play.
Okay. Okay. And then
I'll
Denzel
have to see.
Ward is limited today and yesterday, looking like he's probably going to play with a shoulder and an Achilles. That
Oh, he is
is
expected to play. I'm sorry, he is expected to play.
Judikins expect. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we'll see what he's got. Definitely, held out for a little while during the off season. I think he had some legal stuff going on though, right?
He did. He did.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But Denzel Ward though, look at that shoulder and Achilles though. I mean, that's kind of concerning if you're a Browns fan. No, I mean he practiced today and yesterday, limited, but a shoulder and an Achilles, like top and bottom half of your body. I mean that's rough. That's rough. So we'll see how the Browns do at corner, but let's go ahead and let's get into our keys to victory. Right? Let's get into our
Yes.
keys to victory uh, for this episode of the show. This week 2 matchup against the Browns. Alex, I want to kick this one off. What are your biggest keys to victory for the Ravens to walk out with a W this weekend?
I feel like I just said one of them, and that's getting to the quarterback. That's getting consistent pressure, and that's just not getting held up at the line of scrimmage. I want to make Joe Flacco, uneasy back there. I want them to have to go in a shotgun because their line can't control us. Maybe have some quick passing plays because they can't hold the line for more than 2.5, 3 seconds. That's what I want. That's a huge key. You brought up Matty BK. Those pressures. Push that guy back into Joe Flacco's lap. He's gonna make mistakes. He'll throw off that back foot like we've seen so many times. God bless Joe. And he'll throw an errant pass and hopefully maybe Malachi Starks picks it off or maybe a Nate Wiggins pick. I'm not too sure. But you've got to make yourself known at the line of scrimmage. Please, like I said, get me some sacks. Make Joe Flacco uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, definitely get the sacks, but number 2 is, don't don't make this a game, right? Don't make this a game. And by that I mean do not allow the Browns to become sudden favorites at any point throughout this game if you were making a live bet because you're turning the football over. When you turn the football over, it evens the playing field between a superior team and an inferior team, right? Because you're giving them more possessions. The Buffalo Bills, they had 7 possessions, I want to say, in the second half, as opposed to only 4, I want to say, in the first half. Night and day difference. Those extra 3 positions or possessions rather. That's the difference between winning and losing. It's who has the football the longest, who has the football the last, and that's something that I really, really hope that the Ravens do not find themselves in an absolute dogfight. Again, don't make it a game. Don't find yourself in a dogfight in the fourth quarter because you fell asleep at the wheel after an early Lamar Jackson touchdown or two. Things like that. Like that's just what I do not want to see. Number two is going to be Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley historically has been pretty good against Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, he's probably he is the best edge rusher in the league, if you ask me. It's going to be a tall task dealing with him, but that's going to be another key to victory, kind of containing him. And it's not just him. This defensive line on the Cleveland Browns is very talented. Guys like Mason Graham, guys like Isaiah McGuire making a lot of noise as well. These guys got some talent across that roster. Quiet is kept, right? So I think that, you know, uh, and then just again, running the ball, being as physical as possible is going to be absolutely necessary. The Browns have already been calling out the Ravens, right? That's another thing we can actually kind of get into as well because the Browns have just flat out been calling out the Ravens all week long. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of what they had to say. This is Grant Delpit today talking about Derrick Henry.
Not hard.
Graham, I mean, going back to that, we saw it last year. You obviously were afraid in that first matchup to take him on.
Yeah.
So where does that come from? Is that a mindset?
I mean, we playing football, man. It's tackle football. Somebody got the ball, you got to bring them down.
How hard is he to bring down?
Not hard.
Graham, I mean, going back to that.
Secondary, a lot of notable names back there. Just what are the challenges that can present to you guys as you're seeing?
No challenges.
Baltimore secondary, a lot of notable names back there. Just what are the challenges that can present?
Who gassed you? When have you?
I-
I don't know where to start. I don't. It's
Take it away.
one-sided beef. All right, I'll start with the Grand Talbot thing. You caught him when he wasn't looking. After he already broke 2 tackles. And this may sound insensitive, and I'm sorry. There is a Browns player who has not played a snap since he went head-on with Derrick Henry.
Does he have is it the 3 initials?
It is. It is.
Yeah,
As
go
for
ahead and
Jerry
ask your
Jeudy.
boy JOK. Yeah.
As for Judy, I know the man who had a drop pass that led to an interception, which ultimately was the reason they lost the game, is not talking. And it's fine. 0-1, getting your licks off another 0-1 team, it's fine. It's fine. But it's just super unnecessary. I mean, cool. It's AFC North, but I don't think it's the smartest idea. And I enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy what may happen on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think that it's very wise for these Browns players to really provoke an already pissed off Ravens team and really poking that bear. I mean, Derrick Henry already had smoke for Grant Delpit, I think, over the offseason. That Instagram picture that I think Grant Delpit either posted. He was basically, I think it was a video of him or a picture of him tackling Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry basically, he just commented underneath the post and just said, bet, like, see you soon type of thing. Like, and he reiterated that today, I think, at a presser, or somebody asked him at a media scrum or something like that in the locker room. Derrick Henry said, we're going to see you on Sunday. And I love this energy. Honestly, I think it just boils down to AFC North energy,
Yeah.
Alex. Like, this is just, divisional. They're not going to say anything nice about us. We're not going to say anything nice about them. They may not be the Steelers, but they are in the AFC North nonetheless. So it's going to be nasty. It's going to be gritty. There's going to be some chippiness, some jawing back and forth. You just got to expect those things. It kind of comes with it. But Jerry Jeudy, what I will say, because I actually said this morning on the pod. I said that I feel like they have every right as of right now. 32nd ranked pass defense. Yeah. What do I have to be afraid of? As of right now, what do I have to be afraid of? If I just woke up, on planet Earth, never knew anything about football or anything like that, and somebody said, "Hey, do you think that the Browns wide receiving core should be afraid of the Ravens secondary?" I'd be like, "Okay, well, show me what the Ravens secondary has done so far this year." And if you show me that, I'd be like, "Oh, well, they don't have anything to be afraid of." I don't care about what's on paper anymore. I don't. I need to see these guys step up, make plays. I don't want to hear guys, saying that, "Oh, we got complacent. Oh, we took our foot off the gas. Oh, we're a little bit undisciplined. Oh, we're not as mature as we need to be." Especially not guys who are in year 9, right? Don't want to hear that. So, yeah, man, it's bulletin board material at the end of the day. But I'll get into. Did I have any more keys to victory? I think I said all my keys to victory. Yeah, because the last one was just basically set the tone very, very early in this game. Run the ball through their face, because that's the only thing that they have to stop you. I will say this: last year, and this is according to PFF, Pro Football Focus, however you feel about them, the Ravens' offensive line graded the lowest in the regular season against the Cleveland Browns, that first matchup against the Cleveland Browns. And I actually remembered, I kind of went through my mental Rolodex and kind of remembering that game, Alex, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Ravens O-line was kind of getting pushed around a little bit in that game, and that absolutely cannot happen again this week. That's going to be another major key to victory. You got to win up front. It sounds cliche, I know, but when it comes to these AFC North divisional rivalries, that's all it comes down to. Football is a simple game, right? But I think football against a divisional opponent is an even more simple game. It's even more simple because both teams understand each other so much. There's only but so much you can do. You have to dominate up front. That's where every game is won or lost, but especially divisional games.
Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna kind of add on to the keys I gave my one, but I do want to see us kind of get some of our pass catchers going, whether it be Mr. Bateman or an Andrews, or
Yeah,
even Zay
yeah,
again. I
yeah.
think, not to spoil it, I think Mark Andrews does score. He loves the game against the Browns,
That your bold
but
prediction?
nah, I mean, I don't think it's that bold. He loves playing against the Browns. I don't know what it is, but you got to keep him honest. I think Grant Delpit defense is feeling good. They just held Joe Burrow to 113 yards throwing. I mean, I would be too. 4.9 yards a pass. You hold T. Higgins to 33 yards. You hold Jamar Chase to 26 yards. I'd be feeling myself as well. I think all of us would. I think that's the best 1-2 in the league, and you hold them to that. I mean, that is very impressive. So I want to kind of see the Ravens kind of bring them back down to earth.
Yeah,
We don't really have the best receivers, as some may say, and that's fine. But I like to keep them honest. Like you said, running the ball, keep him honest. I think a nice little play action throw to Zay Flowers, and he just cuts it upfield. Because if the Zay Flowers we get week 1 running north rather than east and west, different receiver. So
yeah,
yeah, and then like you said, with the line, I remember that week 18 game last year. I think Roger Rosengard absolutely just shut down Myles Garrett. I mean, absolutely just had him in check. If you have that again, it'll be a long day for them. So Roger, I need you on your best behavior. I think last week was a little shaky for him. Need a big bounce
yeah.
back this week.
Definitely. I'll have to go back and watch that Roger Rosengarten game where he shut down Myles Garrett, because you said it was the first or second game last year.
Week 18, last game of the year.
Okay, so the last game of the year. Okay, okay. Yeah, I got to go back and watch that because I don't recall that, but I'm gonna watch it though because I would
He
love to
may
see
have
that film.
he held his. I'm not gonna say shut down. He held his own. He shut down T.J. Watt. I'm sorry, but he held his own against Myles Garrett. That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. I about to say, yeah, I know he shut down T.J. Watt for sure, for sure. But the Myles Garrett one, yeah, I'll still go back and watch that one regardless because I would love to see that one-on-one matchup there and how he kind of stands up against the other premier pass rushers in the AFC North. But let's go ahead and get into our bold predictions now. Let's do some bold predictions before we get into our score predictions. For me, right up front, I'm just going to put it on the table right here, right now. I'm going 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers for this Ravens defense. I think that they understand exactly what they need to do this week in terms of like getting their confidence back, getting their mojo back. You see how much a defense celebrates when they get a turnover. They need that. This defense desperately needs a celebration, something to celebrate for. You know what I mean? It's not good enough to just like bend don't break, bend don't break, bend don't break, and then at the very end you do break, and that's what happened last week against the Bills. But like the whole bend don't break thing, cool, but no, force a turnover, have your defense playing offense a little bit. I think that that's going to be the my bold prediction: 2+ turnovers.
I like that. I was kind of going to go in the same direction, but I feel like Nate Wiggins' pick is kind of on the cards. I think he definitely would jump a route or two, and maybe I'm gonna kind of add on like Kyle Hamilton. I feel like Flacco might leave a ball hanging up in the air and just Kyle's build, can out jump somebody, can get to it first. I like that, but kind of go my own way. I said a Mark Andrews touchdown. Uh,
Okay, okay.
I just think it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna go Derrick Henry another long touchdown run. I think it's gonna be him and Grant Delpit
Mm.
in the field. They're gonna meet 1-on-1, and Grant Delpit will be eating some of the grass at M&T Bank Stadium. So,
Yeah, I mean,
bold prediction
Grant
there.
Delpit, he's not gonna want to go square up with Derrick Henry. He's not. He's probably gonna get parallel to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry's gonna give him a little stiff arm, a little stiffy, and then he'll be gone. I mean, I like that a lot. In terms of my turnovers prediction, I'll take it one step further. I'm gonna go Malachi Starks, rights the wrong
Mm.
from last week, and he gets his first interception in the NFL. Give me Malachi Starks. I see him being very, very opportunistic going into the second game, home opener. Crowd's going to be wrapping their arms around him. He's probably going to feel a lot more comfortable playing in that environment as opposed to at Highmark in Buffalo for his week one. So yeah, give me Malachi Starks in this one to get an interception. The other one, I don't know where the other one's going to come from. Maybe it's a strip sack, maybe it's just a regular fumble, whatever. But I'm going 2+ turnovers, but one of them is going to be a Malachi Starks pick. So that's going to be our bold predictions for this Ravens versus Browns game. So now that we've done our keys to victory, we've done our bold predictions. Let's give you our score predictions for this game. Right, final score predictions. I can start on this one. I'm going to go Ravens to take this one, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go Ravens 27, Browns 23. I'm going to go 27-23 Ravens. What do you think?
That would probably have me coming on the stream next Monday or this Monday, absolutely just head loss, because that would be unacceptable. But I do think of the same nature, same thought. I think of the Gardner Minshew games the past 2 years.
Yeah.
No business being that close. So give me the Ravens 31 and give me the Browns 27. I don't know why it should not be a one-score game, but somehow it will. And I'm not going to say take the Browns spread of plus 11.5, but just think about it. Just think about it. I saw the Ravens winning, but just think about it. Could make some money. So I
Wait,
think we
what
win,
is
but
the
like
spread again? I'm sorry.
11.5.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm, that's not a bad spread to take for the Browns plus 11.5, to be honest with you, because, again, with these AFC North rivalries, and the Browns have beat the Ravens once a year for the past 4 years, in case you didn't know. So it's not like we're just dominating them, sweeping them
Yeah.
every year, uh, regardless of how good or bad they are. So I could definitely see that plus 11.5 cashing. That's for sure.
We lost to Jameis Winston. I'm like, no disrespect, but he came back
Come
there
on
and
now.
beat us last. I wanted to say it'll be a blowout, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. So yeah, those are going to be our score predictions. I see you guys in the chat putting your score predictions. If you're not watching this episode 333 of the Purple Rain Podcast live, and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, make sure you leave your score predictions down below. Leave them down below in the comments section, along with any other questions, comments, concerns you may have about this episode, about this week 2 matchup against the Cleveland Browns that the Baltimore Ravens have coming up. Let me see in the chat here. D-Wiz says it's going to be 38-17. I'm assuming Ravens. Chris M says 45-13. I'm assuming Ravens. Tila M, another one of our members in the house, shout out to Tila, says we win by 17.
Okay.
Ooh. I mean, Jeremiah
I'd be
says
happy.
27. Jeremiah is questioning your 27 points that you're giving the Browns here. How do they get 27 points? I mean, some
3
real
touchdowns, 2 field
bullshit
goals.
has to happen. I'll tell you that.
This defense, so it's already, they aren't communicating as it is. There's a little bit of, back and forth. I don't think they know what they're doing sometimes, but I think there'll be some secondary miscommunication again. I mean, what am I supposed to take that everything's going to be fixed in 1 week? It was awful last week.
Facts.
So it's going to take a
Facts.
lot. And Jerry Jeudy, as much as I like to say he's a jag, he's still not a bad receiver. They have Njoku and they have Harold Fannin, who I like both as tight ends. So I want to say it's a blowout, but I just can't. I can't do it.
I can see Jerry Jeudy getting 80+ yards in this game.
On
I'm not
some
gonna lie to you.
BS too. On some freaking
Yeah.
BS.
I would say I don't know what his receiving yards line is at right now on FanDuel or whatever you guys bet on, but I would probably take the over, to be honest with you, because I do think that the Cleveland Browns will be down in this game. They're going to be throwing the ball. Joe Flacco, of course, he is a savvy vet, so I know he can get Jerry Jeudy the football. Of course, Jerry Jeudy is going to want to bounce back after last week having some drops, an interception that was fully his responsibility. There were a couple interceptions from Joe Flacco that weren't really on Joe Flacco last week. But yeah, I can totally see Jerry Jeudy going off. Rod Wave says Jeudy 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I hope not. I hope he's not going off like that. 2 touchdowns is crazy. But I could definitely see his over cashing for whatever his receiving yards are. That's for sure.
Yeah, big time.
So, all right, but let's go ahead and let's move on to our next segment of the show. Now that we've kind of talked about the Ravens versus Browns at length here, I think it's time to do some picks, right? I think it's time for some picks. This week, week 2, this is going to be a lot of fun. Let me actually, before we start our pick segment, let me go ahead and show you guys how we did last week.
I want to say something because I took my own advice and I put in a lay of some of my picks I really liked. I missed out on a plus 4,000 by the Miami Dolphins. All right. So I'm pretty, I told like, if you like some of them and you think they're the same, just put a little lay. I put like very small amount of money on there, but I'm feeling better this week. I think we know teams after week 1. I wasn't expecting Daniel Jones to be that good, so I will hold that out prosperously. But I think this week's gonna be a lot better. I expect both of us 80% or better.
Yes. Like you said, I mean, first week is always kind of a crapshoot. A little bit, you don't know what you're gonna get from so many different teams. Like you said, who could have called Daniel Jones 3 touchdowns, no interceptions? I think I picked. What was the other one I got wrong? I want to say it was the Seahawks game. Who did the Seahawks play last week?
The Niners.
Niners, right.
Yeah.
I want to say I picked the Niners to win that, or no, I picked the Seahawks to win that game. Yeah, because I was standing on Mike McDonald at home. I remember that. Yeah. That was one of the ones I got wrong. But as you guys can see down below, I hit at 56% of my picks last week. I got to do better, man. I got to do better. Simply clocked in at 62%. Hopefully this week we can both hit 80% or more. We're about to go ahead and do our picks, but make sure you stick around because we do have the Purple Rain Parlay segment coming up right after that. Very, very excited for that. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into our week 2 picks.
Yeah. All right. We are here. We are back with week 2 Thursday night football. We have a good game tonight. The Washington Commanders 1-0 against the 1-0 Packers off of a dominating, convincing win against the 1 seed last year, Detroit Lions. For me, I'm taking the Packers tonight. I think they're going to edge it out just at home. It's going to be a good game, probably a 1-possession game, but I just have the Packers barely squeezing it out. I think Micah Parsons is the difference.
Yeah, tonight's game is going to be so much fun, man. I cannot wait. I mean, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, these are 2 young quarterbacks. I mean, and I know Jordan Love's been in the league for some years now, but he's still relatively young as a starter for the Packers as the franchise quarterback. This is going to be fireworks, right? It's in Green Bay. Micah Parsons. Whew, I cannot wait for this one. Now that I think about it, we're probably going to see a lot of Micah Parsons and Laramie Tunsil, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that matchup should be pretty fun to watch. But I think that Jaden Daniels and the Commanders pull this one out, man. I do. We're going to start off adversarial here. I'm going to go Commanders to win in a 1-score game on the road.
I'm going to tell you this. I love seeing these comments. Rod Wave says the audio has been A1 and no freezing. That's what I like to hear, all right?
Nice.
I love that. All right, moving on to the next one, the Giants and the Cowboys. We're on our Sunday slate. Give me the Cowboys at home.
Yeah, Cowboys are riding high right now. They just hung really tight with the Eagles last week. I feel like they're rolling with a lot of confidence. I think that this is the week that you see Dak Prescott really get the ball to CeeDee Lamb after having such a disappointing week 1. Wasn't really disappointing. He just had some bad moments in that one. George Pickens, I feel like, also has a good game. Give me the Cowboys.
Yes. On to the next one, the Seahawks and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Pains me to say this, but Seahawks really didn't impress me last week. I think the Steelers and A-Rod are going to go 2-0.
Hey man, your boy A-Rod, he's looking all right. I mean, what, 4 touchdowns? I mean, he's looking good, man. And it looks like the Steelers aren't really handcuffing him as much as I thought that they would. But what are your thoughts?
Good on him. He'll be on the Pat McAfee show week 8, high off Himalayan salts. Still not so. I mean, congrats, Jets week 1. Cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh too, though.
Yeah, we've seen this story before. We know how it goes. Rams Titans in Tennessee. This is a weird one because the Rams they kind of struggled last week against the Texans. The Texans, but Titans showed me a little something against the Broncos. I was really, really proud of the way they played. I'm going with the Rams in this one. I think they are the better team. I think the talent edges out Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Rams in this one. I liked what I saw from the Titans last week. Had it not been for so many drops by the Titans wide receivers, I feel like the Titans could have hung more, closely in that game with the Denver Broncos. Maybe even might have won it. They had a chance down the stretch there, but yeah, let me go with the Rams in this one. I think they just have too much firepower.
Bills and Jets. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, let me take the Bills as well. I mean, I also liked what I saw from Justin Fields in the Jets offense last week. They actually did not play bad. They stood up well against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, I mean, Buffalo Bills, they're riding high off life right now. They feel like nothing can stop them, and rightfully so, right? I mean, one of the best teams in the league, and the Ravens, had you down and out, and you walked them down at the end of the game, and you ended up winning it to go 1-0. It kind of feels like for them, it's going to be like a magical season, I'm sure. You start off in that fashion. They're jockeying for the 1 seed this year, and they're in good position to do it right now with the Chiefs and the Ravens both being 0-1. Give me the Bills in this one.
Yes. On to the next one, the Patriots and the Dolphins. Ah, man, the Dolphins. I don't know how to even start with them. It's got to be the shortest peak and then drop I've ever seen, or one of the quickest ones. They were on top of the world a couple years ago. You got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua. This is the team, man. You get Jalen Ramsey, they got Calais Campbell. They had all these good players, and somehow, some way, you managed to embarrass yourself in ways that are pretty bad against Daniel Jones and the Colts.
Right.
The Patriots, on the other hand, lost against the new look-ish Raiders at home. I'm going to go with the Dolphins, I guess. I mean, they're going to probably screw me again, but they're at home, and surely you have to win against the Patriots when you're at home. Drake May, year 2, I guess the Dolphins, but I need to see something.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots on this one. I feel like the Patriots, even though they lost last week, right? I feel like they're still ascending. They're still trending up. Meanwhile, the Dolphins are undoubtedly, objectively trending down. So I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one.
All right, next up, the Jags and the Bengals. The Jags did look good last week against the Panthers, and the Bengals look pretty But I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think they have too much talent, but it'll probably be a close game. Jags spread.
I also think that this is going to be a close game, but I am going to take the Bengals as well. I think that this is the game where Joe Burrow really gets T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, who were basically ghosts, right? Milk carton men last week. They didn't really do much. I feel like they schemed them open. This game, Jamar Chase has a huge one. It'll be interesting to see, because I heard that Travis Hunter is actually supposed to play more defense this week than he did last week. So it'll be interesting to see who he matches up against. Is it going to be T. Higgins? Is it going to be Jamar Chase in certain spots? I'm going to go with the Bengals, though, either way.
Welcome to the NFL moment might be on the horizon, unfortunately.
Yeah.
On to the next one. This is an interesting game. I'm going to give my pick first. I'm going to have an upset here. I'm going to have the Saints over the 49ers. At home, Brock Purdy is out. George Kittle is out. CMC, I don't know what's going on with him, but I think the Saints pull this out. Give me the Saints over the 49ers.
Real quick, who's the 49ers backup quarterback?
I was going to look that up. I don't know.
That's very important information right now. I would love to know. Let me see. Because I need to know this. I'm going to go with
Mac Jones.
Oh, right. Ooh.
It's not bad. That's
not terrible. Yeah, that's not terrible. And you said where's the game at?
It's in New Orleans.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I still feel like New Orleans have a whole lot to figure out. You know what I mean? So I kind of would put them on the same playing field, even with an injured, or sorry, hurt 49ers team. Roquan Jones had 11 targets last week, tight end heavy. I'm gonna go with the 49ers in this one. I feel like they find a way to thwart the game plan of the Saints, and I think the 49ers take this one.
Yeah, so much for 80%, man. I don't know what's going on with these games. We have the Ravens over the Browns, the Bears, and the Lions. It's in Detroit. That first drive or two of Caleb Williams was special, man. That guy was slinging the rock. I was really proud of him. He was running. He was making every right read. Running when he had to.
Yeah.
I went to bed at like right around halftime, and I woke up and like, what happened? Wasn't expecting the Vikings to come back. Give me the Lions in this. You have got to win this game. They looked awful week 1. The new OC was not dialing up anything. Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams were ghosts. You got to win this. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions too. I think the consistency and just kind of like the consistency and these two words go hand in hand, but just kind of like the steadiness of a Jared Goff will lead you to a win against the Caleb Williams-led Chicago Bears. And I was watching that game last week against the Vikings, and like you said, Caleb Williams did start off very hot, but after a while it just completely fell apart. I don't know exactly what happened. I mean, there was one ugly play where he's like scrambling towards the sideline, and like right as he's about to throw it away, he steps out of bounds, so it's like a loss of 6 or 7 yards. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, where's the awareness? I don't see the Caleb Williams that we were all expecting to see out of USC. For that reason, for right now at least, I like the Lions over the Bears any week. So give me Detroit.
All right, this next one's pretty interesting now. The Broncos and the Colts. We're in the 4 o'clock window. We got 3 games in the 4 o'clock window. This is one of them. Danny Dimes looked pretty good last week. The Colts, as the whole unit, looked good.
Yeah.
Broncos coming to town. Give me the Broncos. I think Bo Nix will have a better game this week. I think Daniel Jones will not replicate what he did last week. Give me the Broncos, probably by 1 score.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Broncos in this one. 1 score, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Broncos, again, are another one of those teams who are going to be trending up here very, very soon. I know they kind of had a rocky start last week. Bo Nix threw 2 picks, but I think he kind of rights that wrong this week. Give me the Broncos.
All right, next up, another 4 o'clock game. Panthers and the Cardinals in Arizona. The Cardinals I don't know what it is. Like, they let the Saints have a potential game-winning drive, which it shouldn't have happened. I think they win this game and go 2-0, but it's a 2-0 where I'm keeping my eyes on you. Not all 2-0s the same. I'm keeping my eyes on Arizona.
For sure. I'm not gonna say what to expect when it comes to Arizona, but
You do.
you just can't really you can't ever get too high on them until they go on like a 6-7 game win streak and Kyler Murray looks dominant and like everything about that team looks good. I can't ride with them week to week, but this week I will, because I believe in the Carolina Panthers even less. And I know that a lot of fans of the Carolina Panthers, I know some of them because some of my family is from Carolina. They're not big Bryce Young believers, to be honest with you. They're not big Bryce Young believers at all. I think there was a really ugly play last week where he throws the ball at the back of the end zone on 4th down. Like, just some of the decision making is just kind of baffling to me sometimes from Bryce Young. For that reason, I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals in this one. I feel like Kyler Murray kind of continues his connection with Marvin Harrison Jr., tossed him a touchdown last week. I feel like they build on that this week. I see my guy Coach in the house, Sip to Tally Films. What's going on, Coach? Friend of the show. Appreciate you for coming through, man.
Then moving on to the last game of the 4 o'clock window, the one I think everybody will be watching, the Eagles and the Chiefs in Kansas City. Surely them Chiefs don't start off 0-2, right?
Yeah.
I think they do. I have the Eagles winning this one, going in the Arrowhead and walking out with a win. 2-0 Eagles, 0-2 Chiefs.
I'm also going to take the Eagles in this one. I'm going to go with the Eagles by 3 points. I think that the Chiefs are still kind of trying to iron things out offensively. They're still trying to kind of figure out who they want to be this year. I know a big part of who they wanted to be this year offensively included an Xavier Worthy, who obviously is not going to play in this game because he got absolutely mauled by his own teammate, Travis Kelce, in like the first drive of that game. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles in this one. I do have a lot of faith in their trenches, and I think that the same stuff that you saw in the Super Bowl is you're kind of gonna see the same thing here in this game. However, I think the Chiefs keep it tight, much tighter than the Super Bowl. But give me the Eagles like 27-24.
I like it. I like it a lot. And move on to Sunday night. Falcons
Okay.
and Vikings. Quarterback rematch of the national championship. Michael Penix against JJ
Yes.
McCarthy. Give me the Vikings in this. Love me some JJ. Jettas, that is. I like that the comeback I saw from McCarthy as well. I think their defense, played a lot better that second half. Vikings in this one.
I am going to go with the. It's bad because I really want to take the Falcons, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I just don't know. I question if the Falcons are utilizing Bijan Robinson correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like they're not running Bijan Robinson. They're not handing the ball off to him, not nearly as much as they should. I believe in the first half of that game, he probably only got a couple of carries last week. I'll have to look back at the stats, but I have him on fantasy, so I know, right? He wasn't doing much. There was that first touchdown on the first drive of the game. Then outside of that, he might have got like 2 carries for the rest of the first half, right? I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me, but and it was the same thing last year. It was the same thing last year with the Falcons, right? It seemed like they were misusing Bijan Robinson. For that reason, I think that Kevin O'Connell, JJ McCarthy, and this Vikings team had a huge confidence boost with a comeback win on Monday Night Football. I think they carry that into this week, albeit on a short week, and they get the W at home. Give me the Vikings.
I like it. Now we have a doubleheader for Monday night games, which I'm not always the biggest fan of. So Bucks Texans in our first game at 7:00 in Houston. I'm gonna go with the Texans in this one. I like the Bucks, but I think the Texans at home, opening up, I think they have something to prove. Play the Rams really hard, and the Bucks were a little shaky at points against the Falcons, but I think the Texans edge just went out.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough game for me. These two teams to me are basically identical. I feel like the Texans are the Buccaneers of the AFC and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is to me. So this one is very. I'm gonna go with the Texans only because they're at home. So I'll give them that slight home advantage there. But I do think it's gonna be very close. I love the way that Baker's been playing. I love the young wide receiver. Who do they have at Tampa? Ebuka, right?
Yeah. Dude, his confidence
he looked good.
to say he was going to score that
right?
game winner. Love it.
Yeah, game-winning touchdown last week. They look good, but I think the Texans got a little something to prove, especially after dropping their week 1 against the Rams. So I think that they win their home opener. Give me the Texans in this one.
And moving on, this game now looks good. The Chargers and the Raiders at 10:00 in Vegas. Ooh. Kind of rooting for the Raiders in this one. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see them start off 2-0. I think they deserve it. They've been through a lot. Good little story with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. I just think the way the Chargers are feeling now after beating the big monster of Mahomes, like they finally got over that hump per se. I think they win this game and go 2-0, and Chargers are feeling it. Give me the Chargers for the final game of the Week 2 window.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers as well in this final game. I think that it seems like Greg Roman is finally opening up that vault he was talking about for so many years. You know what I mean? I guess he couldn't do it with Lamar Jackson, didn't want to do it, felt like he couldn't do it. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, he didn't even want Lamar Jackson checking plays at the offensive line. You know what I mean? He didn't want him doing that. So for that reason, I think that you're going to see Justin Herbert continue to ascend in this season. His confidence is already starting off at an all-time high after what he did last week. Give me the Chargers in this one too.
I like it. And there is your Week 2 NFL picks, just from two Ravens fans giving you. So hopefully we do a lot better than we did last week. I know I'll be probably putting some plays together with them, and I'll probably be leaving some games off because they're too tight to call. So that is it for the Week 2 NFL picks. On to the Purple Rain Parlay.
Yes. So I guess it's time to make some money. Let's go ahead and hop right into the Purple Rain Parlay segment.
Yes. So last week, I'll be honest, we're down a unit.
My favorite segment.
It's fine.
Let's go.
We're down a unit, and that's fine. It's completely fine. I think that we're gonna cook this week. So we do one for the Ravens and the Browns game, 3-legger, pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, what was it? Let me pull it up. We had Derrick Henry 60 rushing yards, easy cash. The Ravens spread minus 1.5, and then the Bateman 25 plus yards, which I think could have all easily hit. I think if he weren't so aggressive, maybe would have thrown Bateman another ball, which I thought, by the way, he had the one where he was held. Should have been a DPI. Thought he would have caught that.
Yeah.
Would have cashed it. But you know what? That's the way the game goes. So we're on to this week, and we're going to get that money back. So we're down a unit. So 3 legs. What are we thinking? I mean, I'll just kind of read off some lines right now.
Sure.
The Ravens spread 11.5 is minus 108. We're minus 770 favorites, and the over under is 45.5.
I think that I would take the over 45.5. It's a risky one, for an AFC North divisional rival. A lot of people think it's going to be a defensive struggle, but again, I think you get a pissed off Lamar Jackson and you get a pissed off defense, again, who I think is going to force 2+ turnovers. I think the Ravens go up big early, and the Browns kind of start to try to maybe claw their way back into this game. I could totally see over 45.5 if I had to bet on it. I know what my score prediction was, but I'm gonna take that over 45.5.
Okay, over 45. Do you want to maybe do alternate total points? Or do you want to stick with the 45.5?
It would depend on the odds, right? What did we say? We want to do at least plus 150 or plus 200. What did we say last week?
150 to 200 is a sweet spot.
Got it. All right.
So
Well, how are you feeling about that? I mean, the over 45.5.
Over 39.5 is minus 250. Over 40.5 is minus 215.
That's kind of nasty to me. I don't know. I might stay away from that. Let's keep going. Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep going. All right. So I might go back to all reliable.
Okay.
All freaking reliable. Didn't cash last week, but I know it's going to cash this week. Mr. Rashad Bateman. All right, no, Mr. Rashad Bateman. Mr. Rashad Bateman. We're going to sit here and we have Denzel Ward on Zay Flowers, and we know that. Denzel Ward is a fantastic corner. One of the few corners in this league that consistently shuts down the best receiver or top 2, however you want to look at it, Jamar Chase. Right. Every single time. I think there'll be a lot of attention on Zay Flowers. Give me Rashad Bateman 25 plus yards minus 215 for my leg.
Damn, they're really not making this Rashad Bateman thing very favorable, especially not as a straight bet like how it used to be. You guys remember the good old days, right? 25 plus yards for Rashad Bateman was plus money, baby.
Plus 175. Come on now.
Too easy. I was taking that every week. It didn't cash every week, but I was taking it every week. No, but I mean, I could see Rashad Bateman, and you said the catches or the receiving yards? 25 plus alternate, yards, right?
25 plus, yeah.
Yeah. Is this line on the is his receptions any better or the odds any better?
I will happily look for you. His receptions 2 plus is minus 440, 3 plus is minus 148.
Minus 148. You said for over 2.5 receptions.
Yeah.
I would take that over the yards, honestly.
All right. I'm cool with that.
Bateman over 2.5. Yeah.
So right now, let's see. We are at the cheeky plus 185. Just like that.
Wait, with that and what else? What do we have so far?
45 and a half.
Oh, okay. How's about we go? What are you thinking? Running backs, maybe?
We can. I mean, I can start throwing you some props out there. The over under of some running backs. So it's just Derrick Henry and Lamar. Derrick Henry 95.5. Lamar 44.5.
I'll take the over on Lamar. I think that's a pretty safe bet. I'll take the over on Lamar Jackson.
That's plus.
What did he get last week? Plus 297.
70. He's at 70 last week.
Oh yeah, exactly. He has 70. But wait, you said the odds are plus money for that?
So I'm sorry, that's minus 114. So the 3-leg parlay right now is a plus 397.
So we got over Ravens, over 45.5 points scored, total points scored. We've got Rashad Bateman over 2.5 catches, and we've got Lamar Jackson over 44.5 rushing yards. That's 3?
That's
okay.
3.
Out of those 3, which one do you like the least?
It might be the over, but we just predicted both. I mean, would you put 27-23?
27-23, yeah.
So that hits. I put
Yeah.
31-27. That hits. So if we're going off our predictions, it hits.
Yeah. I say we stick with it. I say we rock with it.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
So this one is plus 397. I mean, if you want to water it down, feel free. I'm gonna throw a unit on it. Every bet I'll put a unit. So hopefully we can make our money back. But if we win this, now we'll be up 4 units. So
Yeah.
it could be a good weekend.
It'll be a very, very good weekend. And you heard it there first, folks. That has been the Purple Rain Parlay segment of the show. So yeah, let's go ahead and transition out of this. Outside of that, Alex, I think we pretty much touched on pretty much just about everything. I think there's one more thing that we have not brought up in discussion today on this episode 333 of the Purple Rain Podcast. By the way, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the content. We'd appreciate that. We want to keep delivering this content to you. So in order to do that, just make sure you like the video, subscribe to us. We'd appreciate it. But Roquan Smith, it was mentioned today, and you actually kind of alluded to it earlier. It was mentioned today by Ravens Salary Cap that the Ravens restructured Roquan Smith's deal to basically free up $8 million in cap space for this year. Before the Ravens made this restructuring of Roquan's deal, they had less than $1 million in available cap space to work with. So a lot of people are saying that, this extra $8 million is just simply just breathing room, for the team to kind of make moves here or there. Maybe they want to consider an extension here that they need a little bit of cap space for, maybe practice squad elevations. We don't know. But in your assessment, Alex, what do you think that this $8 million could or should be allocated towards on this Ravens team?
I wouldn't hate another lineman, but I think it's a Jadeveon Clowney. We had reports visited with Dallas, left out a deal, and a deal looks very unlikely. So that's kind of pointing, the money probably is an issue. You clear up $8 million, and I think he would like to come back here. So that's what I think it is. I just I think it's Clowney.
Yeah. I mean, would love to see Jadeveon Clowney make a nice Baltimore reunion. That'd be very cool. Plus the Ravens, they need the pass rush help right now. The young guys, we want to see Mike Green. I want to see a lot more of Mike Green this week, by the way. Especially like with the Browns kind of having some tackle problems, things like that. I want to see a lot more Mike Green. But I will say with that $8 million, if you can swing a Jadeveon Clowney and you can give him like a, one last ride, incentive heavy, deal something like that, then bring him in. Bring him in, man. It cannot hurt. It cannot hurt at all. So, but let me see. Tila says Clowney said we look a mess and he ain't coming here. No, I think Clowney would love to come back and play for the Ravens. It's probably the most successful franchise he's ever played for. But yeah. That's that. I mean, again, I think that what it really is that the Ravens are just trying to, create some breathing room with the cap because they literally had none. They were broke as a joke, going into today. So they needed to make something happen somewhere. But all right. You got anything else, Alex?
It's fitting it was Roquan. He's been very underwhelming the past year. So
yeah. And I think it was Engraven who said the other day when he was on with us, he said, and shout out to Engraven Vids, by the way. He said that, when you think about it, when's the last time you saw Roquan Smith make like a big impact play?
Week 1 last year.
I can't even remember what that was. I'd have to go back and watch. It was
a Mahomes pick right before half, I think.
Okay.
That's the last time I can think of it.
I think I remember that. But the last time being week 1 of last year has been a full calendar year, brother. Like we need dogs. We need leaders on this team. And we have a history of this team. Yeah.
From the first snap to the last, I'm so tired of hearing that. I genuinely am just tired of hearing that. I don't care from the first snap. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. Yeah. I haven't seen it. You're making $100 million for hype speeches.
Exactly, bro.
We're paying $100 million for hype speeches
on the field, right? Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, hopefully Roquan Smith can step up. Hopefully the Ravens step up this week and deliver a W on their 30th year anniversary at M&T Bank Stadium. Again, for all of you guys who are going to go to the game, have fun, be safe. Alex is a game time decision. He may or may not be there. You may or may not see him at the bank this Sunday. So maybe look out for that. But that's going to do it for us on this episode 333 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through. Before you get out of here, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. And make sure, if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, or even if you're watching live, leave a comment down below on what you thought about this live stream. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let us know whether or not any of those things are true down below in the comment section. If you're watching after the fact, comment throughout the whole entire thing, man. Comment throughout the whole entire thing. And actually, Alex, before we get out of here, I want to do something that we were planning on doing it last year, but we never got around to it. I want to do some Ravens trivia to end us off.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
I want to do some Ravens trivia.
Fairs.
And I want to start doing this, at the end of every episode, and just kind of see who gets the answer right first, right? So we're gonna start off with this, right? And Alex, I don't want you to say the answer if you know it.
Okay.
I want the chat. Yeah, I want the chat to see who's gonna get this one first before we get out of here. All right. So here's the question, and these are all Ravens related trivia questions. Who set a club record that still stands today when he posted 17 sacks for the 10-win Ravens in 2014? I'll read it again. Who set a club record that still stands entering today when he posted 17 sacks for the 10-win Ravens in 2014? So, want to let the chat go ahead and let me see whoever's left in here, because maybe some people already left by now. If you're watching this and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, leave it down below in the comment section. Leave it in the comment section if you know the answer off the top of your head. But I want to see what you guys say in this one. We'll give you a little minute. We'll give you a little minute here. And if not, Alex, do you know the answer off the top of your head, or did you just look it up?
I have his jersey in my basement.
You have his jersey, and I already see the answer in the chat here. Torres had it first. Says Elvis Doomerville. That is the correct answer. Man. Big shout out to you, Torres, man. Round of applause.
Shout out to that fax machine, man. That fax machine in Denver that was broken, man. Shout out to that, because it gave us Suggs and Doomerville, I think, are one of the best edge rushing tandems we saw in this franchise. And we were just a solid secondary away from, I think, making some noise that year. So I was Doomerville, man. What a freaking player, him and Suggs. Good memories, man. Terrorizing the quarterback.
Yeah. Let me see. D-Wiz saying Torres didn't have it first, but I don't know, man. In the order I'm seeing here, it says Torres, then D-Wiz. Are you seeing something different, Alex, on your side?
I'm seeing Torres first.
I saw Torres first.
I'm seeing that by like nanoseconds, man. It was close.
Yeah. It's probably really close. But listen, that's not the last time we're going to do this. We're going to do this every episode. I got a huge book here, right? This thick.
Whew.
Of just Ravens trivia questions, and also interesting facts as well in here. So I want to start reading through this. I think it'd be really cool for the entire Rain Gang and Ravens flock. But again, with that being said, this has been episode 333 of the Purple Rain Podcast. I want to thank all y'all for coming through. Have a safe, have a fun weekend. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
Yeah. Thank you for coming through episode 333 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, stay positive. Test negative.
Yes. And never, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, guys, to call God. This is episode 333 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.